Competitive eaters can eat 69 hot dogs in 10 minutes, 203 cookies in 30 minutes, or just eat 100,000 calories. But how do all these famous eaters not get fat and actually stay skinny?
The science behind competitive eating.
I need to know how they do this.
Maybe they just throw up after. Always.
It's nasty.
Joey Chestnut set a world record eating 69 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
That's a very good number.
69! How does that fit in here?
He's not a small guy, but also like...
He's not fat.
To put in perspective what 69 hot dogs looks like inside a human body, we brought in a one-of-a-kind anthropomorphic dummy.
This is gonna be nasty.
Oh no.
The stomach looks full already, but they still have so many hot dogs left.
It's so painful to watch. I already feel pain in my stomach. Same. I'm not sure if I'm more hungry or less hungry after this video.
Normally, a human can stomach, on average, about 1 liter of food before the nausea reflex kicks in, signaling us to stop eating. But competitive eaters train their bodies to ignore this reflex. Their stomachs are capable of holding down 4+ liters of food.
For some obese people, they have like a surgery where they actually make the stomach smaller so you're less hungry. Are those people not hungry all the time?
The entire day?
Yeah, because they have
such large stomachs.
Exactly.
This doesn't look good.
This is a food baby.
This is what it looks like inside the human body. 0 to 9 months pregnant in 10 minutes. Over 20,000 calories.
What happens after that?
Imagine if someone punched you in the stomach while carrying 69 hot dogs.
I don't think you will be carrying 69 hot dogs anymore.
I think there will be an explosion.
Yeah, maybe. Like, literally.
Oh.
I need to know how this works. Let's look at some of the most famous competitive eaters.
How many cookies is he gonna eat?
203 cookies.
I probably can eat like 5 of them and then I'm like, I'm so done with these cookies.
This is crazy.
You could have made so many kids happy with just 1 cookie and now you have a guy not being happy with 200 cookies.
Matt Stoney is the GOAT. This guy is crazy, by the way.
203 cookies.
Within half an hour. Yo, but look at how skinny he is. How does that amount of food fit in such a human being?
Maybe he only does one of these challenges a year. There has to be a secret. They either get rid of it, probably by throwing up, or they do an insane amount of cardio, or they eat less than you think on normal days.
It has to be one of those.
His toilet is gonna file a restraining order on him.
I wonder how the aftermath of those challenges are.
I don't wonder.
You've also got Eric the Electric. This guy has done the craziest challenges. 100,000 calorie challenges. It's insane. He eats all this. So it's more.
100,000 calories in 100. What?
He is definitely the guy we all read about in math problems.
A guy eats 203 cookies in less than half an hour. How many? Blah, blah, blah. Exactly. Like.
How are they doing this? We found this. Joey Chestnut answers competitive eating questions from Twitter.
I'm Joey Chestnut, a competitive eater, ranked #1 in the world.
There's a ranking.
Of course, there's a ranking for everything, bro.
How do competitive eaters not just die? If somebody tried to eat 70 hot dogs for the first time, they might die. It's kind of like the person who ran the first marathon. They died. But now millions of people can run a marathon because they know how to train.
I did not know that.
That's interesting though.
That's very interesting.
So first time doing something, you will die.
Never be the person to do something first.
I've trained and made my body adapt.
It makes sense. So you get used to a lot of food. The way they actually expand their stomachs as well, it's not like in one sitting.
It's progressive overload.
Yes, although I would not progressive overload with your stomach. I don't think this is super healthy, but you can progressive overload with our workout app right here. It's free, just check it out. Workout programs, get stronger over time.
How does one train to eat so many hot dogs? My training isn't too much different from like a runner. Runners have to run, eaters have to eat. It's hard because I can't practice every day. Once a week, I'm doing a practice contest.
Whoa, that's a good point. Makes sense. You can't practice every day.
Why not?
I think otherwise he would get fat. Maybe that's the answer.
Would a fat body be more efficient? Do you then have more room? What is the ideal physique for a competitive eater?
What do competitive eaters do after the contest? Do they purge or just digest? Either way, seems uncomfortable. The best competitive eaters do digest the food. I only get sick if there's something wrong, if I'm dehydrated or the food's bad. When you say uncomfortable, that's where I'm really lucky. I kind of like the feeling of being bloated. That's one of the things that works in my favor. I'm trying to stay vertical and stay walking around.
If you don't like this, you will never get to his level.
Like the same as we sometimes like to destroy our bodies for a challenge because then we feel satisfied because we did some insane number of stuff and then
Some contests, I'm putting on a lot of weight. The most I've gained is, I think it's been more than 20 pounds and it takes about 5 days for me to get back to my normal weight.
The amount of food is like at least half of that, and then you have water weight. I know for sure actually that it's too much food to digest for your body, so you're probably not gonna even consume half of those calories. If he eats 20,000 calories, he will not use those 20,000 calories for fat or for energy. It might not even be 10,000.
Do they enjoy food? Like, is there still some joy to it?
Anyone ever examined the health of competitive eaters? I wonder, is it any worse than normal? It's one of my biggest splurges is my doctor. He does my blood work, and there have been times where I go to him and I'm heavy, but he's really happy with the way everything's working right now. Most competitions aren't necessarily healthy. Any kind of athlete, I don't think we're much worse than normal.
Not much worse than competitions for bodies in general.
In general, yeah, of course, because if you look at, like, for example, bodybuilding or like CrossFit, they push their body to the extreme as well.
Most sports peak in their 20s, maybe 30s. And then after that, there's no way you can keep up.
This interview actually changed my perception of competitive eating. It's a sport, just like any other sport. You train, you practice, you compete.
Yeah, it's definitely a sport, and it's definitely very hard.
Who ranks the competitive eater? There is a league, Major League Eating. Right now I'm ranked #1. They rank based off performance in contests. There is a kale contest, there's pancakes, and hot dogs.
Kale? What?
Each eater wants to have the distinction of being the world kale eating champion.
If you want to see us do a kale eating competition, then let us know down below.
Let us know.
Let us know.
How do competitive eaters not gain weight? Dude, I do gain weight, and it's a battle. I have to be aware of it, because if I lose track of my long-term calorie intake, I gain weight, then I start losing contests. I hate losing.
Joey's actually a pretty good presenter. All his information is easy to digest.
That's good. That's good. This comment deserves the 4
funny
likes.
My normal routine after contests is to eat super high fiber, keep everything moving, low carb, no starches. Doing cardio helps me with my breathing during a contest, but I don't depend on cardio to burn calories necessarily. I try to get into a calorie deficit in order to get back to normal weight.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love food, but I would hate this.
Oh, yes.
I would hate this. There's actually a video of one of the most viral and best competitive eaters right now explaining how he doesn't gain weight and actually is ripped. He's shredded.
Jacked.
He's jacked.
He's jacked.
He's fit.
Is his name Jack?
No, beard means food.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that guy.
Here's pre-competitive eating me. This is before any weird peaks and troughs of filming an eating stunt or doing a contest or whatever it might be. This person eats 3,000 calories every day for 7 days of the week. It's 21,000 calories in that week, evenly distributed over every single day. And here's post-competitive eating me. He eats 8,000 calories on a Monday, but for the rest of the week, he only eats 2,000 calories for those remaining 6 days. That person has only eaten 20,000 calories. I should lose weight doing that.
And actually, he might even lose more weight because those 8,000 calories, his body will not absorb all of that because it's such a random, insane amount, and then he just goes back to 2,000.
And on top of that, it costs a lot of energy to digest that food.
But it is very strenuous on your body. It's not good for your body, so it's definitely not the healthier way.
Now, I should say that if you're into exercise or sport or anything physical especially, this is not the most efficient way to eat. Mostly because you're gonna go through huge peaks of excess energy, and then other days when you feel lethargic and you don't wanna do anything. Now, obviously, if you're playing sport or you're exercising, you want to have a fairly consistent level of energy so you can go into the gym and perform well.
Very smart guy, good guy. Explained it very well. For those watching, this might actually explain why some of your friends around you, it looks like they have a very unhealthy lifestyle and they can eat whatever they want and don't gain weight. It's probably because they only do it on Friday and maybe Saturday, and the rest of the week they forget to eat breakfast and eat maybe a bit of lunch and then they go to bed.
The single most important factor, and I can't stress this enough, when it comes to gaining weight or losing weight, is the amount of calories you consume over time. You can only gain weight if you eat too much chronically and consistently, and likewise, you can only lose weight if you eat too little chronically and consistently.
This is why competitive eaters that eat these insane amount of calories once every few weeks, they will be fine. People that eat that every week or multiple times a week, that's where you will gain weight.
This is better diet advice than the vast majority of fitness channels.
Yes, because it's actually something very relatable. A lot of people do. They sort of splurge on their diet and they think it's all over and then they do it the day after. But this guy just showed them you can be ripped even if you cheat sometimes and just do it like this. Also, make sure to check out the original videos in the description below. These videos were really well made, so click them there and subscribe and smash the link and hit that bell, do everything.
So as a competitive eater, you can actually be fit and sometimes even lose weight.
But there's also a product that if you inject it, you will lose weight and fat very easily. There's a lot of side effects as well, so make sure to check this out here, but it almost sounds too good to be true. Make sure to subscribe, smash the link and hit that bell, and we'll see you in the next episode, and make sure to download Work At It.